live. Let's give everybody a chance to connect here while I try to get my password on my phone. Excuse me. Holy, the energy today, you guys, is just insane. My heart is beating. The energy is like, I feel like I'm standing before a crowd of like 200 people. It's crazy. Interesting. Okay, so thank you guys for coming on today. I'm just going to do 5 minutes of talk and then we're going to jump right into the readings because there's so much spirit I can't even think straight today. So first of all, I just want to remind you guys that I will be live this Saturday, and I will have a guest on as well. Her name is Linda. She does picture analysis, and the cool thing about this, I don't do this, but you might have seen this online. Some people do this, where you can post your picture or a picture of somebody who is either deceased or somebody even that you haven't spoken to in a long time. You just, miss them. You want information how they're doing, or a loved one. You're hoping to get information on their health or whatever it might be. The beautiful thing that Linda can do, which is so cool, is she can take a picture and look at it and just tell you a whole bunch of different stuff about whoever's in that picture or things going on in their life or et cetera, et cetera. It's a really cool talent. See, someone like me personally, I need to either speak to you, see you, have that physical connection to you, but Linda can just do it from the picture, which is so cool. So if any of you are interested in that, and I'm sure you can think of a billion different ways that could be useful or fun. So if you are interested in that, I want you to private message me a picture of whoever it is that you would like Linda to read while she's on live on Saturday with your phone number, and that way she can call you, because what she's going to do is she's going to pick a few before Saturday and start analyzing them. And then when we go live on Saturday, she's going to just call the person, whoever's picture it is that she picked, and just start telling them everything that she's picked up about the pictures. The other cool thing is that if you need healing or anything like that, Linda is absolutely an amazing Reiki healer. She's done work on me and has made a huge difference. So if there's some type of healing that you're hoping to try, definitely give us a call on Saturday. But here's the thing, guys, it's the first Saturday for members only. So this new THM club that I've posted, it's every second Saturday. So I will have guests on. This Saturday is Linda. Next Saturday, I'm not sure who's coming on yet, but I will know by next Tuesday, and I'll let you know for sure. I really want to either have like angel cards or tarot cards, because I know a lot of you are hoping to get insight on your future and whatnot, as well as talk to your loved ones. So that's all cool. So if you haven't checked out the THM Club, all the details are posted on my Facebook page. So please check it out. I can't wait for this, because I think it's just going to take this to a whole new platform, and I'm going to be live a lot more. The beautiful thing is, if you're a member, only members can call in on Saturdays, so you're not fighting against like 50,000 people that are trying to call in on Tuesdays, as you'll see that when the phone starts getting busy here. But yeah, so really, that's all I really needed to let you guys know. Whenever you guys are ready, you can start calling in. And look at that, nobody has even called while I was talking. It's almost like you guys know that I'm going to talk for a few minutes. So anyway, I'm done talking. That's all I have to say. So yeah, I can't even talk straight. The energy coming through. It's like I'm feeling, if you can picture 10 people trying to fit through a door at once, that's exactly how this energy is coming through. Of course, the one day that I don't want to talk. Okay, so nobody wants a reading today? Is that what's going on? No, here we go. All right. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. You're calling for the free readings?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what is your first name?
Shawnee.
Shawnee?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Shawnee. 1 second. I just got to stand up. I'm looking for my stone here that I usually have in my hand. Okay, sorry. You're my first caller. I'm a little, like, scattered still. There's a lot of energy here today. Okay, so I'd like to start with a little grounding exercise, if that's okay.
Okay.
So if I can get you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for a second.
Okay.
And then I want you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me. And then just give me 1 minute to focus. So right away, there's two distinct energies that step forward. One feels female, one feels male, but they feel like they're on opposite sides of the family almost. Like,
Okay.
it would be like grandma or mom. I'm not going to guess relationship. I'm just going to stop myself there. It'd be like somebody on mom's side and somebody on dad's side, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so hold on a second. I'm not sure who I'm going to start with. Slow this down, slow this down. Okay, I'm going to start with the lady because she's taking me to the head, which is my symbol for either stroke, Alzheimer's, dementia, aneurysm, or some type of communication issue. And there definitely feels like some confusion around there. But she takes me to the end of her life and then snaps her fingers. Like, I don't know if she means that her passing was very sudden or this confusion came on very sudden. It's almost like everything happened very suddenly at the end.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Slow this down. She's very happy to be, like, she's showing me my symbol for the body scan, which would mean that she's not in any pain anymore, because she's like making me feel like she's so free on the other side, that there is like a freedom of movement and a freedom of pain, that she just is really acknowledging that she's not in any distress anymore.
Okay.
Do you know who this is?
Well, my fiance had his grandmother just passed away recently.
Okay. And do you understand why she would take me to the head and the confusion at the end and how everything just went so fast, or what she's talking about?
Yeah, she had a brain tumor.
There we go. And it went so fast, like it just, bam.
Yeah, it was within a year. She passed within a year.
Okay. So this
the end was very quick.
So this is her. She's definitely stepping forward. So that would explain to me why, you know how in the beginning when they stepped forward and they let me know that they were from two distinct families?
Right, yes.
So she's like, thank you. And I feel like she's thanking, I'm not sure if this is Grandpa or who the heck this is on your side of the family, but she's like thanking him for letting her go first. Because she feels like she's passed more recently than the gentleman has.
Yes.
And she's expressing a lot of gratitude. I just keep seeing my gratitude symbols. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. She's showing me my symbol for distance. So hold on a second, slow that down. And then again, thank you, thank you. Who had to do the traveling to come to say goodbye to her? Because she's trying to acknowledge, I don't know if this person actually didn't make it there before she passed or something, because she feels like she's overemphasizing the acknowledging somebody went the distance. I don't know how to explain that.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. It cut out for a second.
Okay, sorry. She is trying to acknowledge, I think that this is somebody that traveled far afterwards to come and see her or something. I don't know if this is before she passed or after she passed, but she's very much wanting to acknowledge that somebody traveled a great distance to see her.
I wouldn't know. I'm not sure. I could ask after the phone call, but I'm not sure.
It feels very important to let the family members know that she was very much aware that they were there in the room. Slow that down. she's like taken me to the very end of her life where I feel like she's can hear everything that's going on in the room, but I don't feel like she can respond. Do you understand what I mean?
Right. Right, yes.
And she's wanting to validate that she knows that the people that came from the great distance were there. So she's just going to leave that with you because even though that might not make sense to you right now, you can take that to the family and they'll know what that means.
Okay.
Please just know that there's a lot of gratitude there.
Okay, great.
She's so cute. Okay, so the gentleman is stepping forward.
Okay.
Slow down. I just got to back him up a little bit. He's choking me. He's definitely taking me to the chest or the breathing issue. But he, again, snaps his fingers right quickly. So usually when they show me that sign that the chest, the breathing, and the snap of the fingers back to back like that, it can indicate heart attack or some type of like incubation right at the end of life.
Yes, that makes sense.
Is this the incubation that I'm feeling in my throat? Do you know what I'm talking about there? Or is this heart attack? Because I'm feeling it in my throat.
It's not a heart attack, but he did die very suddenly.
Okay. You understand why the breath would cut off, right?
Sorry?
You understand the breath or the breathing part of that?
Yeah, his organs just shut down one by one, so that would make sense.
Okay. He definitely comes through. It's very interesting because his energy comes through very nurturing, but then when I'm about to say that, he's like, oh, don't say that. Make sure you tell him how strong I am first. I'm so strong on this side. He's like, look, I got all my strength back. And he's like flexing for me. So he must have like lost a lot of strength towards the end of his life there. And definitely felt like he was not at his full capacity because it's very important to him that you don't remember him that way.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense, yeah.
Is this grandfather?
No, it would be my dad.
I see. Okay. Slow this down. That would be why, oh, see, that makes sense why he comes through so nurturing, but he definitely has that macho side to him where he's like, oh, no, but I'm a man's man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
he was, from what I've been told, he was very much like that.
Okay. Interesting, because he's showing me the time progression. It's funny that you say from what you've been told. That explains to me. I'm sitting here asking him, why do you keep showing me time progression? Because usually when they show me time progression, that's their way of letting me know they've been watching over you for some time on the other side.
Yes.
So he's been over there for quite a while.
Yeah, he has.
He shows me the number 3. So how do you relate to that? Were you 3 when he was over there? 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? Or what is the, how does the 3 relate?
Number three. I'm not sure how that would relate. I was 1 when he passed.
He's showing me 1, 2, 3 people. Do you have a brother as well?
No.
He's acknowledging 3 people. Hold on a second. It's 3 people he's talking about. 1, 2, 3. Slow this down. Oh, interesting. Is there 3 people in your family right now? Are you like either you and 2 children, or you someone to the side and a child? Like I'm seeing the one. There we go.
Yeah, I have me, my fiance, and then we have a little one.
There you go. Because he's not letting it go. I'm like, well, I don't understand. What's the 3? He's like, 3 people. I'm like, you've said that. I don't know where they go. And he's like showing me 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. He's like kissing all 3. So it's by him doing this, it's his way to validate for you that he knows of the family that you, or first of all, okay, will you slow down if you want me to slow down? Okay. So he's acknowledging that he has been with you as you've grown up through your life, that he knows of the family that you have developed, and that is more coming. He's like, say that again, reassure her, there's more coming, reassure her. So have you been trying for another baby, or what?
No, we haven't, but we've talked about it. No, not right this, not anytime soon.
He's definitely spending time with her on the other side, letting you know that she'll be coming when she's ready. And it's not an accident. He's having me say she repeatedly. She. And I feel like he's excited about this. Do you have a boy now?
Yes.
That's why. Because he's like, it's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl, it's a girl. And she's like the cutest thing ever. Who's got the freckles in the family?
Sorry?
Who's got the freckles in the family?
Freckles?
He's pointing out freckles on the cheeks.
I don't know. No one that I can think of.
Well, if she's born with just these tiny little freckles on her cheeks, just know that your dad was holding her soul before she was even born, because he just keeps showing me these adorable little freckles.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What does that mean? Slow that down. You know what he's doing is he's taking me back a little bit, and he's talking about that he was there for all of these milestone moments. Like, I'm seeing you walk the stage for graduation, and he's talking about how proud he is of you and that this is such a huge moment. I don't know if you're like the first person to graduate in your family, or if this was just something that was almost didn't happen, or you had to push really hard, or I don't know how to explain, but he's overemphasizing how proud he is of you for finishing that step. Do you understand what he's saying?
I didn't graduate high school.
He's like, you know what? He's still showing me pride, and he's like, I don't hear that. It's still gonna happen. Are you still going back to school? Like, is this?
I'm thinking about going back to school. I've been in talks with schooling institutions to go back. So
there you go.
Talking about that.
That's exactly what he's talking about, because he's showing me standing in the crowd while you're graduating and walking the stage, and he's like showing me how proud he is of you, and that when you said I didn't graduate, he's like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You just ask her. It's happening. And he's like, I'm gonna be the biggest cheerleader on the other side. He's talking about, you know what, he goes to you're married?
No.
Interesting, because he feels very much like your husband. Hold on, what does he mean by this? Slow this down. Oh. Two things. He doesn't care. First of all, your dad doesn't care that he's taking up other people's time. I'm like, we got to try to keep these messages short. There's other people. He's like, Tracy, I have waited my whole life to say these things so they can wait. First of all, there must be a stepdad or something that's involved in your life, because he's referencing two men.
Yes, there is.
He's going, okay, I'm going to ask him to wait to go to the stepdad for a second, because the thing that he does is he takes me to the side where I want to say your husband is, because he, just as much as I feel like you've already graduated, I feel like this man is already your husband. Your dad is giving you an approval about this man, and not just an approval. There's a gratitude about your dad for this man in your life, because he makes me feel like he's been very healing for you. And then what he does is he takes me to your head, and he's talking about how he has helped boost your confidence in life, and that because this man has come into your life, you feel better about yourself, you're doing better in your life, and that's giving you the confidence to move forward. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that makes sense.
So your dad needs, what he needs you to know is that he walked up to you. I'm going to call him your husband, because is there plans to get married?
Yeah, we're engaged.
There you go, because he just keeps calling him your husband. And he walks over to him and he shakes his hand, and he needs you to know that he could not be more proud of the person that you have chosen to be the man in your life.
Okay.
He acknowledges the child, the little boy. Did he just start walking or something? Why do I keep seeing him walking and falling?
Yeah, he walks, yeah.
But is he like that age, like between 1 year and 2 years, where they're very topsy-turvy?
Yeah, he falls over quite a bit.
Okay, because that's what he's acknowledging. You're just showing me like walking behind him, going like, oh, I'll catch him. Oh, I'll catch him.
he's definitely in that phase.
So he goes to the stepdad, and he's definitely showing me a gratitude there. I feel like this man may not have always been perfect, but I feel like he definitely tried, and your dad is like very grateful for that.
Yeah.
He was definitely not a negative influence in your life, put it that way.
No, definitely not. He has never been.
There's just so much gratitude from your dad to know that you have that bond with him.
Yeah.
He's like, but that doesn't take away how much I love you on this side. It never will.
Aww.
And so I don't know if you've been wondering your whole life, is my dad watching over me? That's what I keep hearing, is like from a small child all the way up. Is Dad, are you watching? Dad, did you see that? Dad, did you see me do that? And were you here for this? And it's almost like in the back of your mind. And all I keep hearing is him going, yes, I was there for that, and I was there for that, and I'll be there for that.
Yes, definitely.
Aww.
That has definitely been there for sure.
He's thanking you for the picture. You have a picture of him, and he likes it very much. He's talking about that it makes him look big and strong and manly.
I have a whole photo album of him in my house that we keep downstairs.
Were you just looking at this recently or something?
Yeah, probably like a week or two ago.
There you go. Because he's like showing me the pictures, and he's like, look at that one. Look at how strong I look there. And he's like, strength was important to him.
Yes, he was a male model, so he had a lot of like pictures of modeling pictures and stuff. So.
Shut up! Really?
Yeah.
That's why he's like going through all these pictures and bragging about himself. Like normally Spirit doesn't do that, right? But
yes, he was very body proud for sure.
That's so funny. He's like, he says that you have his eyes. Did he have like blue eyes?
No.
Why am I seeing blue eyes? Who's got the blue eyes in the family?
Nobody.
Oh, no, I'm seeing bright blue eyes. Hold on. Oh, your dad's funny. He was a gentleman, wasn't he? Very much.
I've been told, yeah.
Because in the beginning of this reading, he allowed the grandmother figure for your fiance to come through first, and before he stepped forward. And then now that he's taken up this much time, I don't know how long we've been talking, but he's just like, they can wait. And now all I can see is these blue eyes. And then when I'm asking you, who are these blue eyes for? You're like, nobody. He's like, well, I'm trying to be kind and bring through the next person. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is your way of saying we'll wrap it up. But he doesn't want to use those words because he needs you to know that it's not goodbye. He's not pulling his energy away. I think that was his point. He doesn't want me to say he's pulling his energy away because he's not. His energy is still with you. It always has been, and it always will be.
Oh, that was great. Thank you so much.
Oh, I hope it was helpful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
You as well. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very cool. Oh my gosh, you guys, where do these blue eyes belong? These are gorgeous blue eyes. Gorgeous. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. Are you calling for the free readings?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is your first name?
It's Anne.
Anne? Okay. So give me 1 second here, Anne. I just got to try to refocus here. Okay. So I want to start with a grounding exercise, if that's okay.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Just that was a lot of energy. You have a whole bunch of people on the other side, don't you?
Quite a few.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit overwhelmed. We haven't even done the grounding exercise yet, and I can't breathe.
Oh.
Give me a second. I feel like they're like, there's like some argument going on about who gets to talk this time. I keep hearing this time. Have you called in before?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's going on. See, we haven't even done the grounding exercise, and they're just like a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, So I'm just going to give me a second to quiet them for a second. Okay, let's start with the grounding exercise. So
Okay.
if I can get you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay. So that down. Okay, we have 3 families here. Slow that down. So when I asked in my head, where am I going to start? They said, well, we already answered that with the other caller, with the blue eyes. I'm like, all right. I don't know that there's, I'm like having this conversation. I'm like, well, I don't think blue eyes is enough. So give me a second here. I want to go to the male figure. I keep hearing daddy's hands, so I know that there must be a father figure on the other side. So
Can I say that once again? I apologize.
I keep hearing the song Daddy's Hands, which is usually my symbol for a father figure on the other side.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's actually your dad or if it is an uncle or grandfather. Is your dad on the other side? It feels more dad.
Yes.
Okay. So see, I don't feel like he's the one with the blue eyes. Did your dad have the bright blue eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Okay, interesting. Okay, so this is definitely him coming through, but he's definitely got some, like, there's some weird energy around. I feel like he had to push his way first this time, is how he puts it. Like, I'm going first this time. Did you just get a wave of emotion or something? Because he just, like, walked up to you and wrapped his arms around you and with a hug and said, give her a second, Tracy. Slow down. Give her a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So please know that your dad is hugging you at this moment, and that sometimes can feel like chills that go up and down your body, or your heart that just starts beating really fast. So
My heart's beating really fast and I'm shaking.
That is your father's soul hugging you at this very moment. And as he's doing that, he's like, I'm not letting go, because she just needs to hold on to this feeling for a little while. She just needs to know that we're here. And he's like showing me gratitude for telling you, hold on, is that what I think it is? There's some gratitude about, it feels like the explanation, okay, how do I explain that? There's some gratitude around the fact of bringing, it feels like somehow I've brought these people back into your life. Almost like you have figured out how to communicate with them now, so they've come alive again. It's like the dead are only dead when we stop communicating with them, when we stop talking to them, when we stop asking for their help, when we stop depending on them. That's when they're really dead, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's talking about a period of the last few months where he's feeling like he's come alive again. And that a bunch of them on the other side have come alive again. And that's not because of me. It's because what you have learned how to communicate with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He keeps showing me the plants and nature. Like he's having a lot of fun communicating with you with nature. Do you understand what he means by that?
No.
Do you have to like drive through fields? Like I'm seeing like the back roads. I don't know how to explain this. Like if I was driving from here, I don't know where you are, like out of the city, like the back roads, like through fields or whatnot. I'm not sure what this is.
I'm not sure.
He's definitely taking you out of the city and he's taking me out to the country. So did he live in the country, or I don't understand why he's taking me to the country specifically.
My father lived not where we lived, way far away, about 12 hours away.
Okay.
But we never drove there with him or drove back with him.
Well, I think it's an interesting way for him to show me that he lived across the country. Because see, I have a habit. My family lives across the country. I think this is why I'm seeing the back roads and seeing fields and whatnot, because most of my family lives in Ontario and I live in Alberta.
Okay.
And at least once a year or once every couple of years, I drive out there. I drive across the country. And that's what I was seeing, was the fields and the drive across the country. But I didn't understand what that meant. It's hard to explain how spirit will use things from my memories and whatnot to get me to say what they want to say. So instead of just showing me my symbol for distance, he's showing me that it's a beautiful drive between your house and his house. Now, I understand you say you never made that drive, but he's still telling me it's a beautiful drive.
Okay.
Slow that down. That could also explain why I'm seeing prairies and more. Have you ever driven across Canada?
No. I've driven, BC and different places like that, but nothing across Canada.
So are you in Alberta?
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense. That's why, because he's going to that way. Because I keep seeing BC and then the area where I'm from, which is like the Niagara region around Niagara Falls, where it's like all orchards and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But that could go the other way as well. So because I know like the Okanagan area is very much the same kind of area as the Niagara region.
Right.
So that would make more sense, correct?
Yeah.
That's why he's taking me for the drive, because he's relating it to not just the drive across the country, but the area that I'm from. So
okay.
Interesting. But you know what? After all that is said, he's like, literally, he puts you in the car and he's like, it would be so good for you. Like, you need to do this. Like, there's something about that this travel would be good for you. There's a lot of encouragement about going this summer. Are you on the fence about going on a trip or something this summer?
No. I want to move and I need a vehicle.
He's like giving you all this encouragement that there is definitely this. Are you sure this is permanent moving? Hold on. If you're talking about moving, then this is not just moving like from one house to another in your city. This would be like moving to a different city. Would that make sense?
I was sort of thinking about it this morning.
You were thinking about it this morning, moving to a different city?
Or a town or somewhere, looking for places.
See,
away from here.
That's why I thought vacation, because when Spirit is showing me that you're packing up and showing me going to like a different city, I'm thinking that's not permanent, right? But the important part about this is that there's a lot of encouragement around it. There's a push there, and there's an emphasis on how good this would be for you. And then he's like, you know what song he's playing in my head? That George Michael song, Faith. He's like, you've put it out there for us. You've given us a job. Now you've just got to trust us. It's almost like you've asked for that help, or you've asked for the funding or the aid or the vehicle, whatever that is. And now you're just kind of sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. But things are happening on the other side. Your dad feels like pleased as peach, I have to tell you. What does that mean? Slow that down. I feel like you've already got something started on a vehicle, because he's showing me like 2. I don't know if this is 2 weeks or 2 months, but there's definitely a vehicle coming your way, and it feels like it's already in the motion.
Not in the motion yet. Hoping within the next 2 to 3 months.
I keep seeing 2.
You keep seeing 2?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be wonderful. That would be a godsend.
He's like, just know that we're working on it on this side, that we hear you. And again, he's like taking me back. He's like, Tracy, remember I said when I was talking to her through nature, make sure she hears this part. because I don't think you recognized it yet. Hold on. It's like, where did those flowers come from? Or, it's interesting. I don't know how to explain it. There's something about flowers being where they're not supposed to be, that he's putting an emphasis around that this was him.
Flowers.
You know, and I just keep seeing out in front of my house, there's this patch where they pulled up this tree, and there's like these tulips that keep growing out of it in the weirdest spots. And I don't know, it's like flowers where they're not supposed to be. Just watch for it, because I don't know why he's using this as a symbol, but definitely using that as a symbol.
Okay.
That, and okay. He's pulling his energy back. Okay, so he's pulling his energy back. There's another lady that quickly wants to reference that she's here as well, but I'm going to try to limit her just a little bit because, hold on, slow that down. Is your mom also on the other side, hon? She definitely has a mother feel to her.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. She's putting on the rose-colored glasses. Like, I feel like...
What is she doing? I apologize. What did you say?
The rose-colored glasses, which is my symbol for when spirit sees things differently on that side than they did when they were here in the physical world.
Okay.
And there's a feeling of being way more supportive on the other side than she was here in the physical world. Like, and which is interesting because it feels like there was a close relationship there, but it's like, she's like, times that by 10, how supportive I can be on this side. Slow that down. Okay, and even as I say that, she's showing me back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Did your relationship with your mom get close and then distance and then close and then distance, or do you know what that means there?
We were close, but sometimes didn't always talk as much, or there was other things going on that prevented me from going to see her.
Okay. That could explain why it feels like, it doesn't feel like there's a negative relationship there, but it feels like there's an overemphasis that she wants to put on how supportive she is now compared to when she was here in the physical world.
Okay.
It's almost like she let you do your thing. She didn't put too much focus, but it's almost like she didn't put too much support either. You know what I mean?
Okay. She was always very loving and caring. Never, felt it. Always.
Well, then you must have been going through a bit of a challenging time recently, because there is so much love and support that she just keeps telling me to times 10 it. Whatever she was when she was here at the physical world, she's timesing 10 on how supportive and loving she's trying to be on the other side. Now, normally when spirit overemphasizes something, I will think that it's because they didn't do enough of it here in the physical world. But sometimes they will overemphasize something just because that's what you need at this moment in time. So if there's been some challenges and whatnot, that would be her way of validating for you that she knows about those,
Okay.
and that you're coming to the end of those.
Oh.
She said that you can feel it because there's an excitement in the air that's building recently, and she's taken me to the last week or two. Like, you can almost feel it.
A little bit.
She's like, just believe that. And again, they're playing the song Faith by George Michael and like showing me my symbol for pride. Like, you've just got to believe it. The more that you believe, the easier it is for them to communicate.
Okay.
Your mom's pulling her energy back, but she just placed a ladybug like on your nose.
A ladybug?
Mm-hmm. Do you understand the ladybug?
No. I loved ladybugs when I was little. I used to always catch them, but I don't know anything else about a ladybug.
Well, that's probably why she's well, you know what your parents are doing right now? What I think is happening is your parents came forward today to give you some symbols to watch for them coming up because you're going through a challenging time and they want to be able to be there to be supportive for you. So because you don't know what signs or symbols or how to like understand exactly when they're around, they're stepping forward and giving you these examples of what to look for. Your dad is telling you to look for him in coincidences and synchronicities around nature and flowers and things like that. And I feel like that's because of where he lived, because it's such a beautiful area that there's a soft spot there for him with that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And with your mom, it would be the ladybugs because that's how she remembers you, that sweet, innocent little soul. Do you know what I mean? So that would be something that she could use that would be easy for her to navigate when you're around so that you will know that she's around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're definitely pulling their energy back. Is it your birthday, hun? Or was it like very recently? So as I'm pulling it back, they're like, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. So I don't know if that's 3 people or if that's going back 3 months or going forward 3 months.
No, my birthday was March.
April, May, June. That's going back 3 months.
Yeah, 3
there
months.
we go. That would be it. So it's happy birthday. Going back 3 months, just know that they were with you on that day.
Oh, that was nice.
Interesting. So they're definitely pulling their energy back. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you have a great day.
You too, and thank you so very much, Tracy.
You're welcome. Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Okay, interesting reading. It always fascinates me a little bit how when people have called before, Spirit tends to bring forward a lot more guidance than just validations. It's interesting. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, are you calling for the free readings?
Yeah.
It's funny, I don't have my glasses on, and so I didn't read that this said private number. It's funny because I don't usually answer private numbers, just because you never know who's on the other end.
You did.
No, it's funny, I don't. So it's funny that I actually answered this because it's definitely meant to be, let me tell you.
Awesome.
Okay, so what is your first name?
Krista.
Krista. Okay, Krista. Can we start with a grounding exercise, if you don't mind?
Okay.
You definitely have some more younger, livelier spirit coming through. I can just feel their energy already. Okay. Okay, so if we can start with a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then blowing it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Is that what this is? It's interesting. Sometimes I can feel people's hearts beat real fast when they're all excited to be calling in, when they actually get through. But in this case, I feel like it's the people on the other side that are all excited that they got through.
Okay.
There's definitely 2 distinct families coming through, but it doesn't feel like mom's side and dad's side. It almost feels like, well, if I do it that way, then there's 4. It feels like are you married, Krista?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's both sides. There's your side and your husband's side coming through.
Okay.
Slow this down. I don't know who's going to start talking first. Slow down. I feel like I'm hearing a radio and I don't know what this is in my head, so just give me a second to make sense of this. That's not how we need to start. Okay, I'm a little frustrated because they won't play by my rules. They want me to play by their rules. So usually, and I'm not sure if you've seen my show before, but usually when I'm doing a reading, I ask Spirit to step forward and tell me who they are to the person and how they passed away.
Okay.
They're not really doing that. They're kind of stepping forward, extremely excited, in unison about everything that's going on in your life right now.
Yeah, I feel like they're saying, you already know who we are. We don't need to do that.
Okay,
We just want to tell you what we have to say.
that would make sense because they're like, we don't have to single ourselves out. They're refusing to do that. They're like, let's just get to the point. They're
Really?
extremely excited about what's coming up in your life, and they're like talking about how this is like as a group thing. It's almost like you called in for direction on what's going to happen. It's not so much that you wanted to talk to one specific person. You called in for direction. Would that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, because they know that. They're not stepping forward singling out. They're like, you know who we all are. We know who we are. There's this absolute excitement about what you're about to embark on. But why do they take you guys together? Like, do you work close to your husband, or do you guys do something together? I don't know how to explain this.
Yeah, we actually have, we both have our separate businesses, but we are now going in business together.
There you go, because they're taking you together and they're showing me the thumbs up and how excited they are and how positive this is going to be in your life.
Okay.
They're so excited. Hold on, slow this down. Why do I keep hearing radio? I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know if you're on the radio or there's some type of like, I don't know how to explain this.
Well, we did just start a podcast, so we are on iTunes now.
Okay,
So
that's kind of,
that could be the new radio show.
okay, that could be what I'm picking up in the back of my brain, like all this. I just keep hearing this radio, like, and I'm seeing my symbol for radio waves, and I'm like, what the heck? Okay, slow this down. Aw. So the grandmother figure is definitely stepping forward and singling herself out a little bit. I feel like she can't help herself. She's definitely very nurturing, and just like, she just specifically needs to say how proud she is of you, not just for what you have become with your life, but she's definitely taking me back a number of years and showing me like a dark place and how far you have turned your life around. And just there's an acknowledgement about it, how extremely proud she is of you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
She expresses her love to your husband as well, and she's like, there's a gratitude for the way that he loves you in return, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, the reason why I'm stepping forward, so your mom is still here in the physical world?
Yes.
And would this make sense that mom's mom is on the other side?
Yes.
Okay, because this feels like it would be her mom that steps forward, because she's taking me to your mom and she's putting the white blanket around her shoulders, which the white blanket is my symbol for somebody who has health or stress issues.
Mm-hmm.
And not that it feels like huge alarming stuff, but it feels like a bunch of little stuff. Like, I got to go to the eye doctor, I got to get this checked, and then I got to get that checked. And it's just like, there's an encouragement around your mom to continue to take her health seriously so it doesn't get bad, if that makes sense.
Yep, totally.
And it's almost like grandma's going, I'm watching you. Like keeping mom accountable, so to speak, in the most loving, caring way.
Good.
Almost like somebody who has diabetes or something and has to take shots or has to regulate something. You know what I mean? Like, you just better take care of your health.
Yep.
Is there 5 people in your family, or where am I going with the 5? I feel like there's 5.
Well, my mom does have 5 kids.
Okay, there we go. She's like, mwah, 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 mwah. But she's scattering you guys, so you guys don't all live in the same place. There's like 2 or 3 of you that live in the same place, and the other ones live different places. Does that make sense?
I have to think about that because, yeah, everyone's always moving. There's actually 8 of us between, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
because what she's doing is she's taking a few and she's putting them closer together to each other, and then the rest is like apart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so three of us were close in age, and then the other two were born like 12 years later.
I see. Okay.
So there's a big gap in age.
That makes sense with what she's showing me. She's bragging about how she has the best looking grandchildren in the world. Like,
yeah, we have good genes.
That's what she's like showing me. Blonde hair, blue eyes, like she's doing the whole grandma gush thing.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
She acknowledges, she looks at you, she shows me, interesting. She showed two things. Well, actually, this isn't her. She's like showing me your husband's side. Sorry, this is coming. There's two things going on. It's your grandmother talking, and it's also the mother figure on your husband's side. So I'm not sure if this is grandma or mom.
Probably is grandma.
But they kind of get together here to thank you for the health changes that you've made recently, and for what you've been trying to encourage your husband to do. I feel like, I don't know if you've been trying to get him to exercise or change the way he eats recently or whatnot, but they're definitely showing me that there's this encouragement around helping him keep healthy, and his side of the family is extremely grateful for that. And I feel like on his side of the family, there's some weight issues there possibly, because they are extremely grateful to you for the healthy habits that you are bringing to his life that were so desperately needed for his life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Aw, they're like, and your grandma's like, isn't she beautiful? And they're like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. And they're like so happy that you are in your husband's life. They're not only that, but they're so happy about what's coming up. They just keep showing me the symbol of the two of you together, the working together. And then they tell you to breathe. So I know there must have been some type of little argument or something recently. It's almost like, you know, when you spend too much time together and you get under each other's skin.
Yes.
But then they joke about how it's okay because Grandma, I don't want to say that. I hate when they put me in that position. I almost like, okay. She's like, just don't worry about it because the makeup sex is perfect. And it's good exercise, dear. It's good exercise. Yeah, I don't get to choose what they tell me to say, unfortunately. The dead are pretty liberal about that kind of stuff. But it's interesting because there is an encouragement of don't forget to lose the intimacy. It's not just an accident, or it's not just a funny that she's bringing it up this way. There's an emphasis on don't forget to, or how do I put that? Not don't. There's an emphasis on you have to take care of the intimacy aspect of it as well. That you have to be purposeful about that and don't let that die because it's something special. Not everybody had what the two of you have. And that needs to be nurtured or it will die. Just like if you don't water a plant, it will die.
Yeah.
So she's talking about that, you know, don't worry about the little, you know, arguments that we have when we spend too much time together. Just enjoy the makeup times that you have and make sure that you spend a little bit of extra time apart. Make sure that you plan a couple of hobbies before. It's almost like we have all these hobbies that we do together. But we didn't work together all the time. Now we're working together all the time. So it's like we kind of have to find some hobbies that are outside of each other so that we have that distance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about that because, I'm really trying to encourage him also to remember and find those things that he's passionate about and not always just do what I say. We're different people. Right?
Yeah. Does he like guns by any chance?
Does he like what? Guns?
Guns?
Probably.
Because I just saw Grandma took him to the gun range. She's like, just put a gun in his hand. Tell him to go shooting with his buddies. He'll be happy.
Yeah, maybe he can do that. I just don't want any in my house.
I hear ya. She's like, take him to a gun range. Let him go with his buddies. He'll have a blast. So funny. She's like, he can do the manly things. But it's funny because he enjoys doing things with you more than anything. She's like very sweet. She's like, you know what? It's not that he doesn't like doing those things with his buddies. It's just that he'd rather hang out with you. Aw, you're so lucky.
But I'm such a I don't know. I like my time, my alone time to do my thing. Right?
I hear ya. I got 4 kids.
So it's hard for me.
I hear ya. Well, just keep working on that. Keep nurturing it. The way that they're showing me is that it's just like a garden that you have to keep watering and nurturing. But the core of the relationship between the two of you feels extremely strong in a way that is above and beyond a connection that most people have. So I just hope you know how blessed you are and that your family is so excited about what's to come, because there's a lot of money signs coming up around you. A lot of money signs. It feels like bigger money signs than what you're expecting. It's almost like if you expect this to be a year before we start seeing huge profit from this, and then all of a sudden it's only like 5 months or 6 months. Do you know what I mean? It's like half the time.
Yeah, because there's 2 of us now.
She's like, by the way, I love the haircut. Did he just get his haircut?
I don't know what he's doing today. He might have.
She's like, I love the haircut. So either he needs one really bad and she's saying that she loves how he looks when his hair is cut, or he just got it cut because she's acknowledging how good he looks with the haircut.
I think he needs one.
I'd say she agrees, because that's how she's ending this, pulling it back, going, and by the way, love the hair when it's cut. Too funny. Oh, they're pulling their energy back. I hope that was helpful.
It was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Well, I'm sorry I got a little more chatty with like the people that were on here, but that's all the time that I have for today. My kids get out of school, and so, as you know, I have to run. But like I said, I will be back on Saturday. So if you haven't had your had a membership yet, make sure you send me a private message, and we'll get you all set up for that, because only members are allowed to call in to talk to myself and to Linda. To send in your pictures for analysis if you would like that. And yeah, you definitely have a much better chance of getting through if it's just members only that can call in. And I will be able to give a little bit of longer messages, because there'll be me and Linda here. We might be up for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see how things go. We'll play it by ear. If there's a lot of people still calling in, maybe we'll just keep reading and we'll see how that goes, right? So anyway, thank you guys all so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Bye.